I'm Neha Bhardwaj-Otter. It's game on and it's the start of a new week. Yes, a beleaguered Punjab Kings. They need to pick up the pieces after being blown away by tornado Abhishek Sharma as they face yet another challenging opposition in Kolkata Knight Riders. It's a rarity that a team loses after putting on board a mammoth score like 245. But Punjab Kings had to endure a hard-to-digest defeat due to Abhishek Sharma's whirlwind knock of 141 of just 55 balls in their previous match against Sunrisers Hyderabad. A helpless Shreyas Iyer, who himself smashed a 36-ball 82, could only laugh at the end of the match after watching his bowlers being torn to shreds by Abhishek's blazing blade. The carnage unfolded in Hyderabad, where the flat Uppal track resembles a national highway where no total is safe. On Tuesday, though, Punjab will play at their home in Mullanpur, where the pitch is also conducive for batters, and the team management needs to decide what kind of conditions it would prefer going forward. In the two matches at Mullanpur, 200-plus scores were managed by teams batting first. The bowling unit's confidence must have also been shaken, especially of their two spinners, Yuzvendra Chahal and Glenn Maxwell, who gave away 96 runs in 7 overs between them. And herein lies the dilemma. If Punjab goes for a flat deck, there is no guarantee that the bowling unit can defend anything in that 220 range, especially when KKR have the likes of Sunil Narine, Rinku Singh and Venkatesh Iyer in their ranks. The one piece of statistics that head coach Ricky Ponting wouldn't like to look at is Punjab's bowling unit's economy rate. None of the bowlers have gone below 9 runs and over. The usually dependable Chahal, he's gone for 11.13 runs per over in 5 games with only 2 wickets to show. The loopy leg breaks bowled wide outside the off stump aren't working for him. On the other hand, if Iyer and Ponting ask the curator to prepare a track ready where the ball would grip and offer uneven bounce, it could well boomerang on them. In the KKR corner is the country's most improved T20 spinner, Varun Chakravarti, who loves to bowl on these kind of surfaces, and Sunil Narine, who despite being past his prime, can be more than a handful in slower conditions. KKR is a unit which can be equally dangerous on both flatter decks and a slow spin-friendly track, since they have all their bases covered. Also, the severe thrashing they handed the Chennai Super Kings at Chepauk would have done a world of good to their confidence. The Punjab Kings batting, they are heavily dependent on their skipper, Shreyas Iyer. He scored 250 runs, 350s in 5 games so far. Priyansh Arya, who scored 194 runs. He's been the find of the season. And then there is Nihal Vedra, 141 runs, Shimron Singh and finisher Shashank Singh, who also give the team a lot of solidity. But Punjab's weak link isn't their Indian players, but the two Australians, Glenn Maxwell and Marcus Stoinis. Glenn Maxwell has scored just 34 runs, Marcus Stoinis 59. They've not contributed with the bat so far. The team expects a lot more from them, but facing Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narine, that would be a big challenge for the duo. Even Marco Jansen has bowled way too many loose deliveries for his comfort. Okay, this is an important story. Why are umpires in the IPL suddenly checking bats? Over the weekend, on-field umpires, they have checked bats of multiple players in the IPL. Shimron, Hetmyer, Hardik, Pandya, Phil Salt. They've all had their bats checked at different times in their recent matches. If you're wondering what's going on, what is the protocol? Have the bats always been checked before? Why are they being checked on the field? We will tell you. Checking the bat dimensions is a prevalent protocol, but till the last edition, the process was followed inside the confines of the dressing room. However, the BCCI, in trying to stay more vigilant in times of brutal power hitting, they have allowed the match officials to check any bat they seem necessary during live games. Now, this is a big change from previous seasons where the checks have happened in dressing rooms. So how do they check the bats? The umpires, they have a house-shaped gauge. They put the bat through it, and if that bat passes through it, it is acceptable. What is also possibly helpful in this case is that players always carry multiple bats. and it prevents any player from giving one bat in the dressing room to be checked by the umpire and then playing with another bat. While the weights can vary of bats, the height, width, and the middle of the blade, the thickness of that, all these have to be in the specified limits that's prescribed by the ICC. As per specified dimensions, the width of the bat face should not exceed 4.25 inches. The thickness of the middle of the bat can't exceed 2.64 inches. The maximum width of the edge can't surpass 1.56 inches, and the height of the bat cannot be more than 38 inches from top of the handle to the base. All right, let's move on. When he was winning Indian Premier League titles for Chennai Super Kings, Mahendra Singh Dhoni was hailed like a magician on the cricket field with taglines like "Anhoni ko honi kar de," the one who would make possible from impossible. He was seen as a charismatic cricketer and captain who led Chennai Super Kings from front to 10 IPL titles, 10 IPL finals, in fact, and winning the crown on 5 occasions. Now, when CSK are placed on the lowest pedestal, which is number 10 in the IPL 2025 table, following 5 successive defeats with just 1 win from 6 matches, their team head coach Stephen Fleming has said the 5-time title-winning champions and the captain Dhoni, he doesn't have a magic wand and he can't change the fortunes of Chennai Super Kings overnight. On Friday, CSK were restricted to just 109 for 9 in 20 overs at home, leading the team in the absence of Ruturaj Gaikwad, who's been ruled out for the entire season with an elbow injury. Dhoni came into bat at number 9 position and scoring just 1 of 4 deliveries. Despite the struggle, the onus now is on Dhoni to revive that team's campaign. Head coach Stephen Fleming said, and I quote, "Dhoni's influence will always be prominent, but he's not a soothsayer. He hasn't got a magic wand. He cannot just rub it over the side. Otherwise, he would have brought it out earlier. It is a case of us working very hard along with MS to turn it around, and certainly in both of our cricketing careers, we've been in situations that require a lot of energy, and we've got to make sure that the energy is put in the right place." Fleming admitted that the team was hurting after a series of underwhelming displays. Skipper Dhoni has managed just 104 runs from 6 innings at a dismal strike rate of 146.47, despite an inconsistent form from Ravindra Jadeja with 149 runs from 6 matches. CSK are in trouble, but yes, Sachin Ravindra remains CSK's top run getter. Fleming urged his batters to focus beyond just power hitting, insisting there is still room for craft in the game. He said, I know there is a fascination with power and 6 hitting, but there's also a couple of teams doing well with good craft, and I'd be very sad if the day came to us just being in a baseball competition and talking about 6s and 4s. The beauty of the game is that there's still balance between bat and ball. Conditions play a big part, but there's still room for craft, and you're still seeing top-class players playing pivotal innings when it is not flat like a road, and I just hope the balance can remain. Fleming also identified Nicholas Pooran as the biggest threat in the LSG lineup as CSK would try to turn around their fortunes. He described the West Indian as the most dangerous player in the world at the moment. Nicholas Pooran is very threatening, he said. He is the best player in the world at the moment by some distance, consistent, powerful, and a real threat. To get him out and keep him in check will be a big part of winning the game. Former West Indies great universe boss Chris Gayle. He's in India on a personal visit, and he was asked about the ongoing IPL and about a certain Nicholas Pooran who's been absolutely fantastic for his team, LSG. Listen into what Gayle had to say about his fellow countrymen.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's striking the ball so well. Maybe he's the one can get a 175, 180 on his day, but he's in good form. I know he had a poor here in the IPL, so it's actually good to see him, scoring runs consistently as well. There's many other players who's doing great here in the IPL as well, so that's something fantastic. So hopefully those batters can keep going.
Gayle was also asked about whether whether an Indian should consider iconic batters Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for the upcoming Test series in England. And this is what he said.
Of course, they're still there. Those guys still have a lot of cricket in them. Rohit and Virat, they still have a lot of cricket in them, without a doubt. Don't push them out. The media don't push them out. You know, the cricketing world need those guys as long as possible. You know, so it's good to have those guys around from the international level as well, because believe me, those guys bring a lot of values, and you know, it doesn't matter who come after. There always going to be somebody after, but the longer you keep those guys, you know, the better for the cricketing world.
It took him 1,077 days to make an IPL appearance when he came in as the impact player for Delhi Capitals against Mumbai Indians on Sunday, but there was no visible nerves. Karun Nair walked in like he belonged. He'd been scoring runs consistently in the domestic circuit, and he showed he could hit the world's best bowler Jasprit Bumrah for 2 sixes and a 4 without having much nerves. The 33-year-old has seen a career of more downs than ups. He was the second Indian to score a triple hundred, only to be dropped from the team a few months later. He had a similar fate in the IPL as well, where he played full seasons for various teams between 2014 and 2018, but made a total of 5 appearances in the seasons from 2019 to 2022. On Sunday, when he was finally given an opportunity, he grabbed it with both hands. He walked out to bat as the impact sub, replacing Mukesh Kumar in the 11. DC were 1 down without a run on the board, with Deepak Chahar dismissing Fraser McGurk. First ball in their chase of 206 set by Mumbai Indians. What followed was one of the most extraordinary comebacks witnessed in the IPL, which deserved a happy ending but ultimately did not. Nair smashed 89 of just 40 balls, collecting 12 fours and 5 sixes along the way, comfortably outshining everyone else who performed on Sunday evening. That, however, was not enough for DC to secure a 5th victory in as many outings this season. Nair set the tone for what was a good batting surface, with 3 fours in 5 deliveries from Trent Boult. The highlight of the evening was the manner in which he took on the star bowler Jasprit Bumrah in the final over of the power play, smashing him for 2 sixes and a 4 in the space of 5 deliveries. Nair completed his half-century in just 22 deliveries, his 11th in the IPL and his first in 7 years. The right-hander was eventually nabbed by Mitchell Santner in the 12th over, whose delivery angled into the middle stump before turning square and hitting the off stump. After a successful domestic season in 24-25 with Vidarbha, Nair was signed by the Delhi Capitals for 50 lakh rupees. During this 2025 mega auction, Nair scored 255 runs in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy in 6 innings at a strike rate of 177. Moving on to golf, and Rory McIlroy ended his long wait for a Masters title with a birdie on the opening hole of a sudden death playoff to beat Justin Rose and claim the career Grand Slam after a nerve-wracking final round on Sunday. After missing a 5-foot par putt at the 18th in regulation that forced the playoff, McIlroy made sure he did not let his latest chance at major glory slip away and returned to the same hole in the playoff and put his approach 2 feet from the cup. When the winning putt dropped, McIlroy raised his arms toward the clear sky and let his putter fall behind him as he dropped to his knees, overcome with emotion. McIlroy then embraced his wife Erica and daughter Poppy as chants of Rory, Rory rang out around the green while he made his way toward Butler cabin to collect the green jacket that he almost threw away earlier after a back 9 stumble. With the win, McIlroy joins Jean Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods as the only golfers to win each of the 4 major championships. The 35-year-old McIlroy arrived at this year's first major, where in 2011 he blew a 4-shot lead on the back 9, sneaking his first major since August 2014. McIlroy had been in complete control when he reached the turn, but shockingly relinquished a seemingly comfortable 4-shot lead and then delivered 2 of the best shots of his career late to keep his hopes alive. He had a chance to clinch his 5th major in regulation but missed a 5-foot par putt at the 18th before getting it done in the playoff to become the 6th man and first European to complete the career Grand Slam of golf's 4 majors. It marked more Masters heartbreak for Rose, who lost in a 2017 playoff to Sergio Garcia and has now finished runners-up 3 times at Augusta National.
I'd like to start this press conference with a question myself. What are we all going to talk about next year? Look, it's a dream come true. I've dreamt about that moment for as long as I can remember. I mentioned it out in the prize ceremony, but watching Tiger here in 1997 do what he did and winning his first green jacket, I think that inspired so many of my generation to want to emulate what he did. And there were points in my career where I didn't know if I would have this nice garment over my shoulders, but I didn't make it easy today. I certainly didn't make it easy. I was nervous. It was one of the toughest days I've ever had on the golf course. In a funny way, I feel like the double bogey at the first sort of settled my nerves. And it's funny, walking to the second tee, the first thing that popped into my head was John Ram a couple of years ago making double and going on to win. So, at least my mind was in the right place and was at least thinking positively about it. But just a complete roller coaster of a day. It was very tricky out there. It almost felt more like a US Open than a Masters at some points, just with how firm and fast the greens got. But just really proud of how I bounced back from from the double on 1, from the double on 13. I don't know if any Masters champions had 4 doubles during the week, but maybe I'm the first. But yeah, just a complete roller coaster of emotion.
Real Madrid overcame Kylian Mbappe's red card for a reckless tackle in the first half to win 1-0 at Alaves and get back to within 4 points of Spanish league leader Barcelona. Mbappe was sent off shortly before the break after coming in hard for a studs-up challenge on Alaves midfielder Antonio Blanco. The France star was initially shown a yellow card, but the referee changed it to a red after a video review. Mbappe hadn't seen a red card since 2019 while still playing for Paris Saint-Germain. He will miss at least the Spanish League game at Atletico Bilbao next Sunday. Real Madrid assistant coach has said that Mbappe has apologized and that he's not violent. Carlo Ancelotti, he had put his son in charge, and he said that Mbappe is not a violent man. Eduardo Camavinga, he scored Madrid's winner with a shot from outside the area in the 34th. Barcelona had increased their lead over Madrid with a 1-0 win at Leganés on Saturday. This victory snapped Madrid's 3-game winless streak in all competitions, a run that included Tuesday's 3-0 loss at Arsenal in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. Despite some chances late for both sides, neither Inter Miami nor the host Chicago Fire could find the back of the net as the teams dueled to a 1-0 draw yesterday. Inter Miami goalkeeper Oscar Ustari executed 7 saves, and Chicago's Chris Brady saved 3 goals as both finished with their first clean sheets of the season in MLS competition. Inter Miami were blanked for the first time this season in an MLS match and for the second time in the past 3 matches across all competitions, despite playing with a majority of its regular starters. For Inter Miami, it was its 2nd consecutive draw in the league play, following its dramatic comeback win over LAFC in CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinal on Wednesday. Messi may not have scored, but he thrilled the capacity crowd at Soldier Field with 2 near misses late in the game. Messi hit the crossbar on a high arching shot which Brady just got a hand on in the 64th minute. After a mostly slow first half, the action picked up in the closing minutes after Messi again hit the crossbar on a corner kick in the 85th minute. Inter Miami appeared to finally score a minute later when Messi delivered a perfect long ball into the box to Luis Suarez, who then tapped it past Brady with his left foot, but Suarez was ruled offside just before the attempt.
I don't know how Haile Selassie doesn't put this away. I know there's a lot of traffic in there, but how about that?
Magnus Carlson ground down Hikaru Nakamura to take a 1-0 lead in the Paris Freestyle Chess Grand Slam final. The matchup pitched the world's top two players against each other, and it was the Norwegian who landed the first blow. The Grandmaster sacrificed a pawn on move 4, and despite a spirited Nakamura effort, Carlson went on to win the first game of the final and is now just a draw away from the title and the $200,000 prize money. The Paris tournament is the second stop-off on the multi-million-dollar Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour, offering $750,000 in total prize money, with $200,000 to be awarded to the eventual champion on 14th of April. With that, it is a wrap here on Game On. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.